And speaking of which, when you talk about that player empowerment era that has been going on in the last few years, one of the biggest, most talked about ones is NIL, name, image, likeness. This was forced in the Supreme Court, not the NCAA decided to do it. It was forced in by court law. So tell me more about just the fundamentals of NIL for young college student athletes who are interested in profiting off their name, image, and likeness.
I'm not an expert, but I've always said that athletes, if they could earn money off who they were in college, they should. Because there's many of these athletes would never, and I would hear the argument, oh, they get a college scholarship, all that. Okay, yes, you get a college scholarship, but if you're Reggie Bush at USC, do you know how much money Reggie Bush made USC? He made them an absolute. I can't even tell you how much money he made them. And if you sit back and say, well, Reggie Bush got this scholarship, you he was there to get a degree. We can say all this stuff. He was there to play, to dominate as a football player, to be the best player he could. His focus was on football. I'm sure he has some focus on academics, but what I'm saying is the benefit that he provided that university was much more than his scholarship. And so when people say, "Oh, well, he got a scholarship," okay, he did get a scholarship. So, so for the athlete, the student athlete, they're in a power position. They should get as much money as they can. Their lifespan as an athlete is so short. They get hurt. They don't. Maybe you're that high school kid and you're phenomenal as a quarterback in high school, and you just don't make it as a pro. But all these teams want you, and they're willing to pay it. Yes, get as much money as you can. Get the bag, as they say. So, absolutely, that's my opinion on it. It's been my opinion on it, and the only ones that are going to get paid are the people who are good enough to get paid.
According to Bleacher Report, Reggie Bush would have made in between $4 to $6 million per year in
So
today's
what was
dollar.
his USC scholarship? Let's say his USC scholarship at maximum, and I'm sure I know the numbers. At maximum for 4 years, it was probably $100,000 to $125,000. So let's say it was $500,000. So Reggie Bush, USC, three. I mean, do we need to do numbers?
Let's just say $5 million in name, image, likeness revenue potentially, just for simple math.
Mm-hmm.
And then 500, and then the full boat and tuition and room and board is 500K.
Well, they don't even count that. That's just part of it. It's almost like Reggie Bush was worth $5 million. I think we just said, and that was what year was that, Alexander?
2004.
It's 2023. What would Bush be worth for USC now?
Oh, and that was in today's
Oh,
dollars.
so okay. So the same things. All right. So, but he's 5 million. That's what I'm saying. The athlete is worth so much more, and they weren't getting that. They weren't getting it, and now they are. Now they can get it in high school. Now they can get it through the recruiting process. Now, if you're a low-level kid and you're not as good a recruit, you can also get that by going to a lower level school and transferring to a higher school. So the good school. So right now, this is what happened. If you were a freshman and you were going to USC and you were a developmental guy, they're not even taking you anymore. They don't want you. They'll just what they'll do is be like, okay, who's the best guys in the transfer portal? We want to win a national title. Okay, you know what? There's a guy from Georgia, or there's a guy from Fresno State. He has great stats. We're going to take him. Or we're a guy got a lower level school, and they're just going to keep upgrading. So